we're counting down our picks for the top 10 horror games in 2020 and beyond. For this list, we're looking at the most horrifying offerings coming out of the world of gaming in the next couple of years. We're basing our choices on a mixture of promising marketing, unnerving gameplay, and a spooky tone we've seen in these games so far. Number 10, Sons of the Forest. When a helicopter crashes, you're forced to watch as the soldiers around you get dragged into the darkness. This is the horrifying imagery that sets the tone for Sons of the Forest. While the first game, The Forest, had grounded survival aspects, this follow-up has a lot more supernatural horror in its trailer alone. Between the creepy lady dancing around the fallen comrades and the featureless demon reminiscent of The Descent, we've already got goosebumps. Plus, the Stranger Things meets John Carpenter score amps up the terror. And since it looks like a monster is what attacks your helicopter, it's chilling to think what else lies in these dangerous woods. Number 9, Once Upon a Time in Roswell.
My name's Detective Reinhardt, Roswell Police Department.
In 1947, a detective in Roswell, New Mexico, is investigating the disappearance of a family when his case takes a more sinister turn. The first-person terror of Once Upon a Time in Roswell certainly suggests some extraterrestrial frights, but also satanic threats. The game uses flashbacks to explore possible explanations for the family's whereabouts, which presents opportunities for even scarier moments. So, with the mystery of aliens, the unholy and unexplained military involvement, and the notable PT inspiration in its trailer, we're having trouble sleeping just thinking about the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Roswell. Where's Mulder and Scully when you need them? Number 8, The Outlast Trials. While you face psychotic terrors alone in the previous Outlast games, The Outlast Trials lets you play with others. The game puts you in the shoes of Cold War-era test subjects in a twisted lab, which means plenty of challenges of this title can be believed. Strange goggles from the promotional art also seems to replace the camera from the Outlast games, as a way to keep the tension high in dark holes. As this game is set to support solo and co-op play, it's not likely to get any less spooky with your friends helping either. Besides, the freaky "Where Freedom Ends" tagline has us on the edge about how badly things can turn out for the prisoners of this Outlast spin-off. Number 7, System Shock.
I have reshaped these humans into virulent sculptures.
Space Station is being overrun by a malevolent AI, so you play as a hacker trying to take the station back. Though the 1994 version of System Shock was frightening back in the day, well, let's be honest, it has not aged well. So this ground-up remake is updating all the terrors and mechanics for modern gamers. The game explores the horrors of technology and packs plenty of mutants and robots to give you shivers as well. Plus, it's a perfect way to get back into the series ahead of the upcoming System Shock 3. And considering the original System Shock franchise is the spiritual beginnings of BioShock, it's no surprising how haunting the atmosphere of this remaster looks already.
But I was always here.
Number 6, Little Nightmares 2. The outside world looks desolate and warped because of a broadcast from a menacing tower. This is the intimidating landscape that Little Nightmares 2 puts you in as you solve puzzles and navigate through this follow-up. Though your new hero, Mono, is joined by 6 from the original game, the dangers beyond the moor promise this is a more intimidating entry. While you're less isolated with your AI-controlled partner this time, there's sure to be some tension to keeping each other alive. The additional combat system could also leave players on edge, as it won't be clear anymore as when you can run and when you can fight. Twisted teachers and evil children are lurking here as well, so Little Nightmares 2 is bound to keep you up at night. Number 5, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Rather than let us imagine all the possible destruction from abusing ancient magic, the trailer for Senua's Saga paints a fairly morbid picture. Amongst all the spiritic Nordic chanting, giants, and torch-wielding occultists, the game seems to preserve the dark take on fantasy from the original. And hell, the first game in the series was a masterclass in psychological horror, as it delved into the mind of a protagonist with psychosis in the world of Celtic and Norse mythology. Need I remind you all of the fear felt in the blindness trial? That wasn't enough. Hellblade 2 will have plenty of visual power to disturb gamers when it releases on the Xbox Series X. Number 4. Ghostwire Tokyo. The game is best described in the immortal words of Akumi Nakamura.
It's spooky.
No, not those words. This one.
People are vanishing in Tokyo. You must find out why.
By using its rapture-like disappearances to terrify gamers, Ghostwire Tokyo looks to center largely around an occult spin on Japanese culture. However, the game is also promising that grounded explanations are just as important to its story. There's interesting modern takes on spirits, ninjas, and samurai as well, but it's unclear how all of them will fit into the supernatural concepts for now. It's all very compelling. But with Nakamura leaving her role as creative director so early in development, we do have some worries about what's happening behind the scenes. Number 3, The Last of Us, Part 2.
Look who decided to join us. Alright.
Its main focus may not be on horror, which is why it's only number 3, but for horror fans, this game is still worth your attention. Given suggestions from developer Naughty Dog that it's a revenge game, however, it's clear that things go downhill quickly in this sequel. Winter settings feature warped infected zombies to match the environment, while the warmer sections appear to show how nature reclaimed the cities. Survival looks to keep players tense this time, with new bloated clickers and frightening dogs. But even with all its zombies, the haunting tone of The Last of Us Part 2 is set to come largely from all the atrocities the human characters do to each other.
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
Number 2, Dying Light 2. "15 years into a viral zombie apocalypse, an infected survivor is making the most of his dire circumstances. With this twist, Dying Light 2 not only sets its story apart, but enhances its parkour too. This means you can go farther, and even push zombies to break your fall this time around. You face more dangerous missions as a result too, so every excursion comes with its own set of horrors. Nighttime sends out more zombies as well, so everything is riskier the later you go out. Dying Light 2 also boasts branching consequences for mission choices, so the scariest moments in the game can come from your own decisions. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Resident Evil 3.
What the hell? How could this many people be infected?
With zombies ravaging Raccoon City, Jill Valentine tries to escape the clutches of the evil Umbrella Corporation. Resident Evil 3 updates the 1999 version of the game with more action and tight gameplay to match Capcom's celebrated remake of Resident Evil 2. However, the infamous nemesis in this release is being touted as a significantly stronger enemy than Mr. X from its predecessor, which is chilling just to think about. This version also tweaks characters and enemy looks, while it's modifying the original story to help its emotional impact. So, since this version won't keep the story the same, it's terrifying to think what new twists await us in Raccoon City.